right? New moon ceremony. We have a new moon in Cancer tonight. Have you been feeling it? How many of you cried in the last 24 hours? Hello. I didn't cry today. A little bit yesterday. It's a weepy new moon, right? Because this is the Cancer new moon is all about new beginnings, because every new moon is about new beginnings. But the Cancer new moon is about renewal of emotions. And so this is about, looking at your patterns. Looking at your patterns. By the way, we have a brand new setup here. I can see myself more clearly. I don't know if your visual, if you've been with me for a long time, is better than it usually is. I hope it is. But it looks really good and clear. We shouldn't have any technical interruptions. So just you, me, and a couple of friends sitting here having a new moon ceremony I'm really excited about. Okay, cool. Is it better? I'm so glad. Like, you can actually really see me. It's not fuzzy, and I kind of like that. I like that you can see all the finer details. And so welcome in. You see me brighter? It's kind of nice. It's just a different computer. It's an upgrade. It's an upgrade. Anyway, welcome into new moon in Cancer. I'm going to grab my notes because I have a lot of things to tell you tonight. Now, it isn't all emotional renewal and sunshine and rainbows, right? We've got some other astrological factors at play. One of the things, though, that's really great is Mercury's direct. So all of the communication mishaps and other challenges we were facing, we have direct motion with Mercury, meaning you're not as likely to have the miscommunications as you have been in previous weeks. So if you are going to communicate, more likely to be received accurately, right? Less likelihood of someone saying, well, what did you mean by that, right? A lot of the communication challenges that we've been having over the last couple of weeks. Okay, I have so many different things to tell you. Let's just begin by taking a breath, and I'm going to smudge, because that's where we always begin. I'm going to clear the energy with a little bit of white sage for us all. These are interesting times on this planet, aren't they? How are you holding up? How are you doing through this? How are you feeling? What's coming up for you? If there's a little bit of time at the end of our ceremony together tonight, I would love to just, hear your voice, hear what's going on in your world, hear what your thoughts are, hear where your thoughts are. It is a challenging time, and it's an unprecedented time for our generation. My grandmother went through a pandemic. She was like 4 or 5 years old during the last one, right? But in our generation, we really don't have a lot of wide-scale experience with something like this, and so it's a different time, and it's opening all these new doorways, allowing us to think about new ways to do things that we've done for a long time. Like, even on a micro level, our children's day-to-day routine, right, is completely different now. It's Joan's 55th birthday today, and she's celebrating part of her birthday with us. Happy birthday to you, Joan. What a beautiful birthday, to have a birthday on the new moon. Oh, no way! She's going into labor. We are with you. What a beautiful moment to go into labor during a new moon in Cancer, which is the sign of the mother, right? Tara, on our Team SG, it's her birthday today, so I hope she's not watching. I hope she's not doing anything remotely related to work right now. But if you are watching, Tara, we love you and we're super thankful for you. And so happy birthday to all of you, the last of our Cancers, as we start to turn the wheel toward the season of trouble. I have this meme somewhere, and it's like Sandra Dee from, anyway, Sandra Dee, and then her and her on her best behavior, and it says, this is Cancer season, and then it's Sandra Dee with her hair down and her tongue out, and so this is Leo season. So happy birthday to all of you. Yeah, so thrilled you can be here for a little while. I'm glad. So you're staying healthy, right? You're staying well. That's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. It's Beth's 39th birthday today. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Look at that. So happy birthday to all of you who are celebrating birthdays. And, you know, Sage Goddess is turning 9, I want to remind you, on Saturday. And you are invited to our birthday party. We're turning 9. It was 9 years ago Saturday that I put a white sage bundle on Etsy and got this whole party started. And do you know, when I put that sage bundle on Etsy, do you know that, like, it was the only white sage and rose bundle on Etsy, which is why it looked so different from everything else that was there. Now you look up white sage and rose bundles on Etsy and it's like, there's 400 of them, you know, to choose from. But anyway, it was 9 years ago this Saturday. So this is kind of a joke. This is not what your bingo card will look like, but we've decided to host crystal bingo from my living room, me and Dave. And so you, you're allowed to play up to 4 cards. So Team SG will explain to you in the feed where to go to get your bingo cards. You need to get your bingo cards before Saturday at 4 p.m. And I hope you can join us. I'm making handmade goodies. I'm making smudge shells. I'm making custom perfumes. I'm making custom incense blends. I've made 3 candles. So I'm making homemade prizes, and then we have thousands of dollars worth of gemstone prizes. We're giving away gift cards. So it's just going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to get weird. You know, I mean, we're going to start out with 1 glass of wine. Who knows where that's going to go? So it could be a really long and really crazy night. And I'm so glad that you're going to be there. So she put the link in the feed for you. So yours will not say wine, 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 wine. We just made this one as a joke. Yours will say different crystals, and then we're going to call out the crystals, and then we'll have winners. And we're playing a lot of rounds, so there's going to be a lot of winners. Like, buckle up. And what I would say is, bring your next door neighbor, your mom, your kids, whatever. But it's every woman and man and child for him or herself. Seriously, I'd be like, you play yours, I'll play mine. You win, great. I win, I get to keep it. I don't know about you, but I get oddly competitive sometimes. So you can invite people, but if you win, you're keeping whatever you get. Now your cards will have the names of crystals on them, and we're going to call out the name of the crystal, and then so I even went on Amazon and I got some daubers. You know that? Are you like a professional bingo player? I'm not professional, but I've been to enough to know. And so I got Zoe and her friend a dauber. They don't get to win anything, but I told them they could play along. Isn't that fun? Anyway, it's going down on Saturday night starting at 4 p.m. Pacific time in my living room. The other thing I want to show you really quickly is for free now, at every new moon and every full moon, my team and I offer these worksheets to you. And so you can download this on sagegoddess.com. It tells you the gemstones, herbs, oils, and then it gives you astrological information beyond the new moon. And then it gives you more information on the back and some journaling questions. And we have these for every new moon now and every full moon, and they're on the website and they're free. So those are just like fun, free things that are going on to tell you about. And then the last thing I want to tell you is, if you are getting your new moon toolkit for next month, they're 3/4 of the way gone. And this incredible necklace is going to one person who gets their Leo new moon tools for August. This is the only, it's so Cancerian, which is why I chose it. This is a sterling silver, Udiolite, pink tourmaline, and green amethyst necklace. The retail value of it is $799. Udiolite is one of the most powerful healers of the central nervous system, and it's one of the stones I work with if you've got fibro or lupus or MS. It's a really good stone to help with. I know, isn't it beautiful? And you can wear it like a crown, kind of. I mean, I do things like that. If you're a little more subtle, I respect that. I would wear it as a crown. Kind of goes with my dress, but I didn't want to take all my necklaces off. So anyway, good luck. You have till midnight, and I think there are 87 sets left or something like that. So if you'd like one, the code today is 19party for 19% off at sagegoddess.com. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, I have a jewelry designer who makes jewelry. And this is one of those pieces, but it's the only Udiolite necklace he's ever made that I've seen. So he's done pieces, he's done like labradorite necklaces and moonstone necklaces and some really beautiful things, but the Udiolite, it's really different and beautiful, isn't it? So anyway, good luck, everybody. There's no code, you just have to get your set before midnight, and I'll remind you later. Okay, so what is tonight about? Are you ready? Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you. I'm so glad that you like the new setup. I really feel like it's clearer, and I'm so glad to get your feedback on it, and I'm super excited. And I'm proud too because my son helped to set up the technology for tonight. My son is really passionate about technology and really good at setting up like cameras and lighting systems and stuff. So he did this whole setup, and for being 13, I'm really proud of him. So thank you, Nick, if you're watching. I really appreciate you. Okay, so let's walk through tonight. The first thing I'm going to start off by saying is something you don't normally hear at a new moon ceremony, but it's an important reminder for tonight. He is a mini Dave. It's an important reminder for tonight, and it's an important reminder for like the times we're in. Are you ready? And like really hear me. Like take a breath while I tell you this, because it's like it's a big thought to take in. It seems simple, and yet it's really not if you take it in. You are manifesting every thought that you have right now. Every thought that you're having right now is showing up someplace in your life, especially repeated patterns of thoughts. How you think about your health is how your health goes. I mean, it might sound crazy to you, but I absolutely feel that my health is optimal all the time. Now, you might look at me and say, Athena, you have MS. Like, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but I don't think you can really say that. Except I choose to live that way, and I have experienced really vibrant health for somebody who does have a chronic, incurable disease, right? I choose to visualize my health that way. So I could look at the data and say, well, I probably shouldn't be so optimistic, or I could look and say, I think I actually create my health with my thoughts, you know, and I believe that. So, and I'm glad Rose Hughes to hear it. You know, she said, you have no idea how badly I needed to hear this. Once in a while, we need that conscious reminder. Watch your thoughts right now. If you're living in fear, if you're living in anxiety, if you're, you know, constantly noticing every physical symptom you're having, or if you're anxious about your finances, or you're anxious about your relationship, or you're anxious about things. A good friend of mine says something, and I think it's so wise, I'm going to share it with you. And I don't remember the source where she got it, or I would attribute it. But here's the concept. Are you ready? She says, don't rehearse your trauma. Don't rehearse your trauma. Don't start imagining what the worst case scenario is going to be like before it arrives on your doorstep. Now you might be saying, why are you saying this tonight? Because it's a Cancer new moon. And your emotions, Cancer teaches us how powerful our emotions are. They really, really do. And I'm going to say this about Cancerians. I have quite a few in my life. My sister's a Cancer, so I grew up really close to a Cancer. And there's quite a few Cancer women in my life. My dad's a Cancer. And here's what I love most about Cancers. Do I have any Cancers in the feed, by the way? Sun, moon, or rising? Here's what I love about you most. And this is something that I admire, not just love about them, but admire about them. Let's say you bring a problem to a Cancer, a problem about somebody, okay? You're having a challenge in a relationship with somebody, and they say, well, what's going on? They're so easy to talk to, right? Look at all my Cancers. And you explain the situation, and you're all upset. You know what a Cancer is going to do? A Cancer will teach you how to look at it from the other side, to the point where you will then have compassion and empathy for that other person and completely help you reimagine that dynamic or that relationship. Because Cancers have this ability, in the same way that Libras balance ideas and balance energies and balance thoughts. You know, Libras play with ideas and energies like they're instruments, right? Cancers do that with emotions. And you might say, well, oh, this person was mean to me, and oh, this person was this and that. And by the end of the conversation, you'll be like, you know what? I hadn't thought about it that way before. Like, yeah, she's going through a really hard time. And yeah, I guess if I was in that position too, I might be behaving that way too. And yeah, you're right. You know, I could be more It's really true. Cancers help you to see from all sides because they're here to help you balance the emotions. And they bring out the best in us because they are the mother. If you think about what your mother does, your mother loves you in ideal circumstances, loves you exquisitely and unconditionally, and she helps you see the best in yourself. You know, she's honest with you about your flaws, but she also really brings out the best in you because she knows you so well, because she's so in there with you, right? That maternal energy is so deeply connected. And so I want to thank the Cancers in our community because you bring this energy all the time. And tonight, a lot of us are tapping into that. I want to encourage you a couple things to think about tonight, okay? And I know it's ironic coming from me, a Leo, and next month, I'm not going to talk about any of this. Next month, I'm going to kick your royal behind into the next gear. So tonight, I'm being very gentle with you. I'm being very watery with you. I'm going to play a beautiful water wind chime with you. Next month, you might have a bruise by the time I'm done with you. Because a Leo new moon, not about any of this. We're like, we're all done crying. Are you crying? I'm going to give you something to cry about, and then we move you into the next dimension. So each new moon has its own energy, but let's ride this really pretty wave tonight because next month won't be so gentle when I'm done with you. But you'll be ready for that by next month. By next month, you'll be ready. If you do tonight's work, correctly, then next month you'll be ready for a little bit of a butt kicking. I promise to be gentle with you, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's talk more about emotional rebirth. Emotional rebirth. I want you to think tonight, and I know this is tough. I mean, I'm doing the same work you're doing, okay? I want you to think tonight about which relationships in your life need a reboot, need a rebirth. You haven't been gentle enough. You haven't been nurturing enough. You haven't been loving enough. You haven't been understanding enough. You haven't been present enough. Now, let's start with you, okay? Because the reality is, the relationship with you sets the tone, right? And this is what we're going to be focusing on with our intentions for tonight. Are you being all of those things with yourself? Are you being understanding? Are you being kind? Are you being gentle with your body, with your heart, with your spirit? Are you constantly saying, you could have done more, you should have done more, why didn't you do that? That wasn't good enough. Laying in bed at night going, you coulda, you shoulda, you woulda, all of those things, right? Your nurturing has to begin with you. Because if you can't nurture yourself, honestly, at the end of the day, anything you do for anybody else is inauthentic. It has to start with you, right? And I always quote, I don't quote it accurately, but it's that Buddhist concept that if your compassion doesn't include you, then it's incomplete, right? So your compassion has to include you, and your kindness and your generosity has to include you first. So it has to start with you first. Emotional rebirth then can extend to your relationships. Is it your partnership? Is it a friendship? Is it work relationships? Is it your relationship with yourself? And I want you to think of tonight, because it is, and this is why I will tell you, I love the new moon. I wished I could have gone live with you 5 hours ago. I love this hour with you. I love this time. I love this work that we do. It's holy and sacred. It's a new beginning. I love a full moon too because it's a party and it's big and it's whatever. It's like the spiritual rave of the month, right? I mean, it's fun, but it's intense. It's a little overwhelming, right? The new moon is start over. You didn't do a great job last month? Okay. Let's do better this month. Let's be more generous this month. Let's be kinder this month. Let's take better care of our bodies this month, right? Let's shift that paradigm. And so I want you to close your eyes right now, and I want you to just quietly, if you're willing to, commit to starting over tonight in at least one of your relationships, being gentler. Think Cancer stuff, right? So Cancer energy is forgiving. Unless you've hurt them, then they're never going to forgive you. But they generally do forgive people. They just hold a grudge. But it's forgiving, it's compassionate, it's nurturing, It's empathic, it's empathetic, it's intuitive, right? It's generous, it's balanced, because they always see both sides of the equation, right? Are you committing? Can you do it? Just one thing, one relationship, whether it's with you or somebody else, that you're going to try to do better. And then for the rest of the month, when you go back to that place where you've been closed off or retreating, my challenge lately during this quarantine is I'm finding myself going really within, and I'm finding myself having to remember to engage and to be in dialogue, which is really weird for me because I'm a talker. But I'm being very reflective and kind of inward right now. So one of the things I'm working on in my life is express, because it's like there's so much happening up here, and there's so much happening in here, and there's so much happening in here, but then like, am I saying it? Sometimes I'm not. I've been really quiet. I haven't even been writing as much as I usually do. So I'm trying to like even rekindle that relationship with my inner expressive self, right? To connect with that. Does that make sense to you guys? A lot of empaths have been going within. Okay. Here's the other energy of tonight before we go into our meditation. All of these things are things that you should be considering setting intentions around. You can set other intentions tonight. You know that I don't limit you. I don't think the universe limits you. We live in an expansive and multidimensional universe, so I don't think you're limited to like one intention or three intentions, but some of these are really well aspected, meaning you've got some astrological oomph behind it, right? So you've got a lot of energy building in these areas, and so you would be well served to choose an intention that's aligned with these areas. The next one is becoming your own safe space. If you are not safe with you, then who are you safe with? Do you know what I mean? Like you need to be your own soft place to land, where you can say it's okay, it's gonna get better, it's okay, everything's welcome here, it's okay, you're okay as you are, nothing to fix, change, or solve. Like if you can't be that space for yourself, then again it's gonna be very hard for you to offer that to anybody else too. So becoming your own safe space. If you can see you, then you will need fewer people in the world to see you, because you can see you. If you are safe with you, then you're not going to go through your life asking your partner, am I safe with you? Asking your friends, am I safe with you? Because you're just going to know that you're safe. You're not going to be looking for those things externally. You got to begin to find internally what you've been looking for externally, because ultimately everything external to you is just a mirror of you. So if you look out in the world and say, I don't feel loved, I don't feel appreciated, I don't feel seen, I don't feel understood, it's because you don't see you. You don't appreciate you. You don't, and so it's like, so when does that begin? Everybody else is mirroring something back to you, but ultimately this is an internal process that has to go on, right? So that's the other energy for tonight. And then I want you to think about any intuition or any intentions that you can set around your intuition, around your ability to hold space for others, around your ability to see both sides. Before you judge somebody, you know that old saying, walk a mile in their shoes? That's Cancer. Cancer's not going to judge you unless they've walked a mile in your shoes. And then nurturing. Where can you be more nurturing? And nurturing could look like going to bed 15 or 20 minutes early so that you have time to wind down. Nurturing could be cooking yourself better quality meals. Nurturing could be making yourself tea at night before you go to bed with a little bit of honey and some lavender in it to help you sleep, right? Nurturing could be externally giving your partner a massage at night, or asking your partner what they need and giving them more of that, or putting your arms around your children a couple more times a day, and just, again, being a soft place to land, but it all has to start with you. Okay, so let's talk about our plant medicines for tonight, because each month in the new moon, we study one creature, who is the dragonfly this month, and then we study two plants. So our little animal spirit ally this month is dragonfly. And did you know dragonfly, a couple things about dragonfly, they're born in water, but they learn to fly. So they are dual elemental creatures. They thrive in two environments. They float and fly. And that's always my goal in life. I want to learn how to float, but I also want to learn how to fly. I want to be able to navigate this earth plane and do it with some ease, But then I also want to learn how to navigate these other dimensions and be able to be a little bit lighter and freer and able to see things from multiple perspectives. That's all Dragonfly. Do you know the Dragonflies are, what is the exact number? 300 million years old? Did you know that? Think about that for a minute. So the legend is that they used to be dragons, and then they became teeny and could fly and not hurt you. So that's an interesting story too. 300 million years old. So Dragonfly, and I gave you one in your kit this month. I hope you're loving this. This is made out of snakeskin jasper. We had these hand carved for you, and they're pretty. I'm in love with mine because I love dragonflies. Snakeskin jasper is the stone of gentle transformation. And what I love about dragonflies too is they change colors over their lifetime. They end up looking like little jewels. Like all the different colors of the rainbow, you can see them. If you get up close to a dragonfly, they're like absolutely magnificent, right? So this can be your little talisman to remind yourself. And we're gonna hold these in meditation tonight so that the energy gets into this stone. And any kind of, if you don't have tonight's kit, I would say get yourself any kind of jasper. I think you'll be really happy if you have, because jasper is the stone of loving kindness, and tonight's about nurturing. Tonight's about reparenting. Doesn't matter what kind of parental relationship you had, at some point you can parent little you and make it all better. And this little one will show you the way, right? So that you learn how to float and fly and move through all the phases and stages of your life. They're super magical. Okay, then Neroli, and I'm actually gonna flip to, you ready for this? My other camera. Ah. Check it out. Oh, we are getting fancy over here. I'm gonna make sure that my charcoal is lit so that I can burn a little bit of our incense tonight. So we're working with Neroli in that solid perfume. In your initiation balm, we're initiating empathy tonight. And Neroli is one of my favorite essential oils too. Next month is patchouli, which of course is my all-time favorite, but Neroli is a secondary favorite of mine. And Neroli is the pure orange blossom. I just want to make sure that's really good and lit. Spit at me. I think it's good enough. She's like, I'm lit. Okay. But are you really? Now we're cooking. I can smell her. Okay. So this is your Neroli initiation balm. And what Neroli represents, I'm going to open it for you so you can see, and I'll anoint with that in just a second. Neroli is called the calm of angel's wings. Neroli is the pure orange blossom. And so whereas the dragonfly represents transformation and balance, Neroli or orange blossom represents protection. Cancers are very protective of the people they love. Have you ever seen a Cancer? When someone has hurt someone they love, what they do, they get all angry. They don't like it. Cancers don't like injustice in general, but they definitely don't like it when someone they love gets hurt. And so this is Neroli, which is protective, it's pure, brings that energy of purity and absolute beauty. And then your incense is poppy. Poppy with a blend of herbs, but there's quite a bit of poppy flower in that incense. And poppy, I really want to talk to you about poppy for a second. See, I told you it wasn't lit enough. You will light. I know I have a not a great lighter. I think Zoe brought me another lighter. She sure did. She sure did. Now we're cooking. Torch that. Yep. All right. Now we're cooking with some gas. Poppy, let's talk about poppy. So poppy is for imagination and pleasure, as I light my candle. The red poppy is the poppy that is the most supportive of changing your physical state. The red poppy is the one that is used to make all of the medication that you're familiar with, the opium, the morphine, the codeine. But red poppies are associated with pleasure. And so the red poppy is what you have in a little bit of your incense, and then there are poppy seeds on your candle, and this has been poured with Neroli essential oil. And so those are your tools for tonight. Come back to me. Wasn't that fun? Feels so fancy. So I'm going to take a little bit of our Neroli balm at our wrists. Take a nice deep inhale there. Do you love that? That's pure Neroli. Pure orange blossom. Isn't it incredible? And that's Italian Neroli. Neroli comes from different parts of the world. This is Italian, and it's just magnificent. So this is solid perfume. A little bit at our wrist for what we do, a little bit at our third eye for what we know, and then a little bit at your ankles for where you go. And when you anoint all those places, you activate all of the energy lines in your body, what we call the meridians or the key lines or the chi lines. Isn't it beautiful, those balms? And I'll tell you something. The balms are made with jojoba oil, and so they're really good. I use them. People always ask me how I keep my cuticles nice during a pandemic because I can't get my nails done anymore. And it's the balm. I use our initiation balms as my cuticle cream. So yeah, 1,000%. Stacy's asking if she can use Dragonfly perfume. I love that. Poppy. Does anybody know the story about Demeter? There was a young nymph, I believe he was, Mekon, who was just treasured by Demeter, and he died very young in Greek mythology. And so she transformed him into a poppy flower. And when she lost her daughter, when Persephone went to the underworld in ancient Greek mythology, she ate poppy seeds to manage her grief over the loss of her daughter. And some people say, well, she ate the poppy seeds because she wanted to be in an altered state. But then there are other people who say that she was allowing her love for Mekon to heal her and her sorrow over the loss of her daughter. So there's different stories about that. But I love knowing that Demeter was working with poppy seeds in ancient Greek mythology. Isn't that sweet? Okay. Oh, thanks so much, you guys. I'm glad that you're here. So we're going to begin. Are you ready? Do you feel like you have a sense of what your intention should be for tonight? Do you feel like you... oh, here it is. I'm going to show this to you later. Do you feel like you know what you want to intend? And again, at the new moon, what we do is we set intentions for the next lunar cycle. So these are things that you want to create or manifest between tonight and the next time I see you at the Leo new moon next month. So again, intentions tonight. Let's talk about ones that would be probably the best for you to set based on the energies. So any intentions around nurturing, self-care, tenderness, remothering, refathering, reparenting, right? So healing childhood issues and challenges and traumas would be well aspected tonight because those energies are available and they're represented by Cancer. Any place in your life where you need more nurturing, or if you want to be more nurturing in a relationship. Sometimes people come to me and they're like, I want to be a better mom. I want to be a better partner. I want to be sweeter. I want to be gentler. I want to be more honey and less vinegar. You know what I mean? And especially right now, because we're all really going through challenging times. I mean, obviously I'm here in LA where we've been hit the hardest, almost, among the hardest cities in the US. And so we are facing our own challenges here, but it's really kind of like turned life upside down. And so maybe you want to bring more of your focus back into your heart space. Remember that Cancer as a sun sign, the birthstone is ruby, which is all about heart space, passion, reconnecting with your inner tenderness. Yeah, so if you're feeling drained, depleted, Morgan, it's all of the energy of today, and then it's an invitation to come back and create that safe and sacred space within yourself, that you have what you need to heal these wounds. So I love that. So Laura's talking about more focus and effort in her marriage. That would be a good one because relationships, Obviously Cancer plays a powerful role in their relationships. They're relationship-oriented people, and they put relationships first. And so this is a really good new moon to set intentions around how you're going to come into your relationship in a new way. And Catherine said, I want to love and heal my inner child. Right? Look at that. I want to smile more. My third grandson was born Friday, and I want them to have a happy Nana. Oh, Trisha, that's so beautiful. And they will, I will tell you this. A lot of the things that we think are hard work, like, oh, change is so hard, or if I'm going to change the way I am or change the way I feel. But change is a choice. I always say this, change is a choice. It's not an action. It's just, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to be softer, and I'm not going to go back to this hard place. Tomorrow I'm going to be less judgmental, and I'm just not going to be that person anymore who's constantly judging other people. Or tomorrow I'm going to hug everybody one more time than I usually do. I always tell people as a mom, I know if I don't hug my children every day, how many other people are hugging them? I mean, my kids are home with me too, so it's me and Dave. So if I don't put my arms around my children every day, it's important. Stop, give a hug, spend time, make eye contact. Cancers are really good at making eye contact too. So are you ready? And then in addition to that, then you can also set your intentions for new beginnings, prosperity, new forms of abundance, new forms of health and healing would be a great intention too, right? Feeling stronger and more comfortable in your physical body. Hug your kitties. My kitty doesn't like to be hugged. It's okay. He makes up for it, but hugging is not his favorite thing. He's like, I'm good. That's right. They're always going to need your hugs, right? And you need your hug. I'm telling you something. Hug yourself first. It's really true. That might sound like the silliest thing I've ever told you, but you need a hug, and that hug can come from you. You ready? On this new moon. So let's open our circle. Call in our beautiful guides and guardians of the directions to be present with us. I invite you to roll your shoulders back. Just relax and soften and release. You got nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. Just be here with me. I'll be here with you. For the next half hour-ish, 20 minutes. You ready? And I want you to imagine as you sit in this relaxed position, open, ready for the energies to flow. I want you to imagine that out of your left hand extends a beautiful beam of white light. And as you imagine that white light, you can give it a temperature and a diameter and a texture to really feel the energy of that light in your hand. And as that light wraps itself around our circle, it'll come back to you in your right hand. And remember, we're covering a lot of territory tonight. The 1,400 people who are here live right now are here from all different parts of the world. We have a global audience that gathers. I want to thank you for being here tonight, because it's not the same when you're not here. We're very grateful. And you can start to feel your fingertips warm up, get a little tingly as that energy really starts to flow through the circle, and everybody with a focused intention at this time. I'm going to call in the guides and the guardians of the four directions to be with us. So we begin tonight in the east. I want to welcome in the guides and the guardians of the east, element of air, to be with us, bringing in those winds of change. We can feel it already. Can't you start to feel even the shift and the turn long before the first harvest, which is August 1st? It's just around the corner. It's like you can start to feel the winds of change blowing even now. So we welcome in the guides and guardians of the east to bring us clarity tonight, perspective, help us to see things from a different view, to create spaciousness in our lives and our hearts, helping us to slow the thoughts down, not live in that constant spin. And we welcome them in with gratitude tonight. And to the guides and guardians of the south, element of fire, Welcoming you in. We're in your season right now here in the north. We are in the summer season, which is the element of fire. And it's all about growth and expansion, and the gardens are blooming, the trees are fruiting, everything is getting ready for harvest. We feel that expansion in our bones. We welcome in the guides of the south for transformation, change, and courage. And then to the guides and the guardians of the west, the water element. That's all that Cancerian energy tonight. The moon in her natal position. She's comfortable in Cancer. It's very familiar to her. So tonight, calling in the guides and the guardians of the west for healing, for forgiveness, for compassion, for connection. Helping us to feel into the challenges of our life rather than thinking about them or trying to figure them out tonight. Letting our heart lead the way. We welcome them in with gratitude. And to the guides and the guardians of the north, element of earth, thank you for stabilizing us. We welcome you in to lead us with patience, with strength, with power, with truth in the north. And definitely a sense of grounding this evening as we work with this watery lunar energy. And we give thanks and welcome you in. And with that, our beautiful circle is open. Open, open, open. So good. That's right. Well, and you know, Dia said you reach a point where you're fighting a losing battle and you realize you don't have strength left, or that you know this useless energy can be used for a much greater good. Isn't that true? And so I think tonight can be that turning point if you want it to be. That, you know, the reality is energy is both finite and infinite. And when you pay attention to something, you give it energy. So what are you choosing to give energy to in your life? And if you're giving energy to something that can't return that energy to you, isn't really serving you, then let's turn the page tonight and start giving that energy to something that can nourish you, that can support you, that can feed you, right? And so that's the shift that we're talking about tonight. I think it will really be a page turner in your life's book if you're willing to do this work tonight and step into this, because this is, I think, a Cancer new moon has the greatest potential of almost all of them to change your life if you commit. That's all it takes. Okay, so our candle is lit. I would like for you to have your little dragonfly with you. If you don't have a dragonfly, I would like for you to choose another crystal, or maybe it's one of your necklaces or a piece of jewelry that you want to hold tonight and really charge with the energy of this meditation that we're doing together. So whatever it is, whether it's this little piece, which I will tell you a decade from now, this is still going to be sitting on my altar. Every time I've looked at it, the whole time I've had it here this month, it just makes me happy. Because dragonflies are such proof that magic is real. So anything you have, rose quartz is great. I love it. A wooden dragonfly for sure, Carrie. That's cute. I love that. Malachite's great. Carnelian heart is beautiful, Julia, because we're right in that season. So I love that for you too. Prenite's good. Any rubies you have, because it's Cancer, would also be good for you. Selenite, I love it. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do for you, I'm going to start with my chimes. And I'm going to be working with the balancing elements. So air and water. And then earth and fire. So I'm going to play my chimes for you for the next few minutes, and I want you to spend that time while I'm playing for you. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to spend that time really imagining, visualizing, feeling, and use less of this and more of this tonight. You can use your third eye, but try not to use your brain. This isn't like, oh, I'm going to figure this out. This is visualize and feel. Visualize and feel. That's why I even want you to close your human eyes. You know what I mean? Because you don't need to see right now. If it feels good, just to lightly tap your heart space. You can tap your solar plexus just to open those energy centers a little bit. You can tap them both simultaneously if that feels good. Just to sort of open those energy centers. And I'm going to begin with the chimes of the east and the west to call in energies of air. And I want you to imagine that this is the slightest little breeze that's coming through the trees right now next to me. I wish you were here so you could see it. And I want you to imagine that this air energy is coming through your life, through your home, through your spirit. And I want you to imagine it sweeping away or sweeping through or clearing out, dusting off, helping you see more clearly. That's right, if you're a Gemini like Candace, you're going to feel this air element energy. Literally just imagine that it's just moving over you in circles, just clearing, purifying the way air signs do. If you're a Libra, you're feeling this too, right? Aquarius. And then the water chime comes through. Different energy now. Now that we've cleared through, we're going to purify, wash clean. Layers of sorrow and grief. Let it wash off tonight under this Cancer new moon. Remember that we clear at the new moon. It's the only moon phase when we clear. Let it wash off, Pisces. That's right. Cancer, Scorpio. Wash off your heart tonight. Let it all go into that water. And the combination together, blowing through, washing away. You're floating and you're flying. You're floating and you're flying. Everything becoming clearer, everything becoming cleaner. Just relax. Let yourself become just light as a feather. Imagine your energy just floating. I'm so glad you're here. And it really is this easy. We make it complicated, it's not complicated. So these elements balance each other, right? Okay. And now element of fire. Oh, fire. It burns clean, man. Doesn't leave anything behind. It races, right? It burns. It leaves very little behind because it's so purifying, right? Whereas water washes away, fire burns away. Fire clears the land. Fire makes space. And fire brings strength, courage, playfulness, spontaneity. Fire is here to spark you. Maybe to, get you to sit up a little straighter, get you to take a little bit more action, right? So if you're a Sag or a Leo, I'm both of those. Or if you're an Aries, my sun. That's the spark. And then across the wheel, is Earth. Woo, Earth. Grounding you. To me, Earth is imagining that you're standing barefoot on fresh soil, and the roots of the trees come up from under you and just wrap themselves around your feet. Remind you that you're held, that you can't fall, that it'll hold you if you can't hold yourself, right? Everything will be okay in the fullness of time. Just be patient, let it unfold. Just feeling that earth beneath their feet, feeling the grandfathers around you. Feeling the elders around you, your ancestors around you. They're always reminding you, don't get caught up. This all goes by so fast. Enjoy it. Slow down. Take your time. Take your time. It goes too fast. Take your time. Do you feel it? I feel it in my root chakra too. Isn't it yummy? It's like... And now, it's the flash and the grounding. Take your time, but don't give up. Be patient, but be persistent. Right? So good. It's you as a young person running through the fields, and it's you as an elder all at once, right? It's so good to be with you guys right now. I'm so happy you're here. It's you young and free and wild, and it's you wise and slowing down, taking your time. And you get to be both at once tonight. And both of those parts of you are beautiful. Your wildness and your impetuousness and your fearlessness is beautiful. But your strength and your grounding and your power is enchanting. Right? All at once. You sure are, Lisa. But we're all that already, right? Like, I see you that way now. Embodying that wisdom and that perspective. It's so beautiful to witness you guys and your process and your growth. I could do it all night. I wish I could. It's never enough time. And so what I want you to do, I'm going to come back to the water chime, since we are with Cancer tonight. And let those tears flow. Remember, Cancer is the mistress of tears. So I want you to seal your intentions now. You can blow them across your stone, you can say them out loud, you can write them down, you can send them on the wind. I have a big, beautiful olive tree outside my window. I'm Greek. and named after the goddess whose tree that is. And so at the new moon, I imagine the words of my intentions like being written on those leaves of that tree, and how many wishes and intentions I've pushed into those leaves over these years. So maybe you want to write your intentions on the leaves of a magical tree tonight, right? I don't actually write them, I just visualize them, but it feels like it. I love that, Julie. Thank you for telling us and sharing us that. It's beautiful tonight. Well, Dina, you know what though? Maybe there's a different purification. She's saying, how is it that I'm not crying right now, right? But then Dark Magicians brought to tears, and it's beautiful. You know, if I was there with you, I would wipe them for you, but say, let them go, let them come. Tears are good. Purification. So seal those intentions for the next lunar cycle. I'm going to go quiet and do mine, okay? I do it with you. Just a few more seconds of holding that energy. Remember that the more clearly you can visualize it and crystallize it, like it's already happening, like you're already in that place, the more powerful the energy is that you raise. And that's what it's all about. And if you fell asleep, that's wonderful. Spirit guides knocked you out. They wanted you to be more of a passenger on that bus tonight. That's okay. That's right. I love it. Paul says, tears don't have to be physical. It's true, Paul. None of it has to be, right? I mean, the release can be so energetic. It doesn't have to manifest in tears. I really love that you said that. Thank you for saying it. So I want you to bring your hands together over your heart space. And put your stone in your hands. And I want you to remember, whether you tap on your heart during the month, or you hold your hands in prayer pose over your heart, or you place that crystal over your heart, every time you start doing this month, which means thinking, judging, figuring it out, right? Make sure you do a second check here. You know, I don't like what that person did to me. Then check here. Maybe that person's in pain. Doesn't make it right, but maybe there's another level of understanding, right? Or, you know, I don't believe, you know, what that person is saying to me. What does your heart tell you? My heart might tell you a different story. And I'm finding in these times that this is less accurate than this. If we're brave enough, right, to do the heart check and the head check. But you have to do both, I think. Yeah, that crystal will get very warm. Mine was hot sitting in my lap for got kind of toasty down there. It's true. And Kathleen said, but I'm a Gemini, it's so difficult. Because, I mean, you're sort of like, you're built to overthink it, right? But that's where reminding yourself to do this heart-centered work is so critical, because it's like, it's the next layer, you know, and it's a validation. Because if your heart says the same thing as your head, what a nice validation. If your heart's giving you another perspective, then it's like, let me think before I act, right? Because maybe I need to look at something a little bit more closely or differently before I respond. Okay. So Great Spirit, see us tonight as we send these intentions skyward. We ask that these intentions come to pass. in perfect time and in full alignment with the highest good of each person who's here tonight and all who will watch later. We also ask that these intentions come to pass in a way that blesses this beautiful planet that you've gifted us. And we also ask tonight, I'm going to ask as part of my intentions for something of a cosmic new beginning. I would love to see a new beginning around this virus and our reaction and response to it. I'm so open to a shift. Like, I'm very open, very willing to see a shift. And I think that's the other thing too, is it's like just staying open to possibilities that serve the highest good of the entire collective. I'm totally open and available to that shift. And if you're open to, just say it. I'm open to a shift in that experience that will completely redefine the terms of it for our planet in a way that serves the highest good. So I'm open to that. I'm open to seeing a dramatic shift in people's levels of peace and joy on this planet. I'm open to seeing a dramatic reduction in the level of human anxiety on this planet right now. I'm open to seeing a complete reduction of stress and anxiety in the collective. I'm open to perfect health for all human inhabitants and all non-human inhabitants on this earth right now. I'm open to all possibilities for prosperity, for everyone in our community and everyone that you know and love. So prosperity coming to you from sources seen and unseen with ease. I'm open to new ways of working, new ways of educating, new ways of being in relationship, all in service of healing the collective. Are you open? Do you have a big open sign? I like it. You gotta be clear about what you're open to. I'm not open to everything, but I am open to all of those things. Yeah? Open to that tonight. I'm very open to that, universe. And then I like to tell the universe, I don't want to know how. You do the how. Because the universe is better than I am at the how. So I leave all that up. However you heal us, however you bring prosperity, as long as it's in service of the collective highest good, I am very open to whatever that needs to look like. And now I want you to also say that you are open to your intentions. Coming to you in perfect time, in such alignment with everything that you need. And together we say, Amen, Aho. And so it is under this beautiful Cancer new moon. I'm open to all of it. I remember sitting across the table from someone very smart, this was years ago, and he said, I'm just open. I'm open to abundance. This is a very successful man. He looked at me and he's like, I know you believe in energy. I believe in energy. I'm open to abundance from any direction, any source, at any time. And it was just like, and I was like, yeah, me too. Come to think of it, I love that. I'm open to abundance from any source, at any time. As long as it serves the collective highest good, I'm open to that. I like it. I'm open for it. All right. The last thing I want to say to you before we close tonight, are you ready? This is my last teaching point. I had to look at my notes because I knew there was something else I wanted to tell you. I teach what's known as Hermeticism. And one of the Hermetic principles that guides our universe is this principle of polarity, okay? Where there's light, there's dark, right? Where there's yes, there's no, right? All the sort of basic polarities. But I'm noticing another polarity, which is I put fear and imagination, okay? And this is this Cancer new moon. The one thing Cancers have to watch out for is they can be nervous Nellies because they can rehearse trauma. But what if? But what if this? But what if that? But what if this? But what if that? And it's like, and then Leos are over here going, we don't do that. We don't rehearse the tragedies, right? So imagination is your friend. What if? But then imagination can turn into its opposite, which is fear. But. This could happen, that could happen, this could happen, that could happen, okay? Stay in the imagination side, please, for at least the next 24 hours until this new moon window closes. Please don't go to fear. I can imagine this beautiful future for myself. But what if this blah, 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 blah? Well, I can imagine perfect health for myself. Blah, 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 right? Don't do that stuff. Stay in the imagination place, but don't go over here. You start to feel yourself go over here. Imagine me kind of swatting you to get you back over there. Don't do that. Because you only have one new moon a month, and it lasts for 24 hours, and then the energy's gone. It's like, so you gotta work with the energy. You gotta maintain the vibration. That's the difference between people who manifest and the people who don't. And so we release the energy tonight with gratitude as we open our circle. Yeah, and your dragonfly will remind you, your other crystal will remind you. So that I wish I had one of those like bobblehead dolls where I could talk and go, it sounds like you're in fear, go back to imagination. That's right. So we want to release the guides and the guardians in the opposite direction that we welcome them. So that means we start with the north. So as we begin by releasing the guides and the guardians of the north, the element of earth, we give thanks for your grounding, your protection, your stability tonight, for keeping us focused and reminding us to slow down and enjoy this one beautiful life that we've been given. We give thanks and release you this evening with gratitude. And to the guides and the guardians of the west, this beautiful Cancer new moon gateway, thank you for connecting us in with these deep emotions tonight, helping us to remember the gift of imagination, the gift of emotional transformation, and nurturing and compassion and intuition and all of these things that Cancer just does so naturally on her own. And we give thanks and release the guides and guardians of the west. And to the guides and the guardians of the south, the fire element, we thank you for your spark tonight, your courage, your little bit of that juice that comes from the south. You know, it's passion, it's enthusiasm, it's optimism in the south, and we need that right now. We're in that season for a reason. So we give thanks and release the guides and guardians of the south for your presence this evening. And to the guides and the guardians of the east, thank you for this new beginning, this new moon, this new pathway, this new opportunity to reparent ourselves, to release the hurt and the wounds of the past and show up softer and kinder and more nurturing to ourselves and in our relationships. We give thanks and release you with gratitude as well. And with that, our new moon for July is complete. And I want to thank you for being here. I'm really grateful for your presence. I hope you know how important you are to this community. Sage Goddess turns 9 on Saturday. I've been doing this for 9 years. In fact, my first full moon ritual, I believe, was September of that year. I've aged a little bit. We've aged together gracefully, I'd like to think. Thank you for being part of this party for almost a decade. Couldn't do it without you, wouldn't want to do it without you. It's truly a pleasure. And I hope you see, when you go back and watch videos from 11 years ago, in some ways I feel lighter and happier and more at ease in my life now than I did then. And I think it's a testament to what this work can really do. I've done the work and you've kind of seen me go through my process. And so transformation really is a choice. It's just, do you want to show up in your life in a new way? And if you do, everything around you will shift to accommodate it. It's quite powerful. So making the choice tonight, your timing is really good. And why not start tonight? Is there a better day to do it? I don't think so. So happy that you are here, truly, truly. And thank you. I love you too. And I send all your sweet blessings back to you with gratitude. I want to thank Hannah and Alexis for being with me tonight. Love you both. Hannah, have you gotten your ring yet? I want to know. I haven't been on my email very much today, but I'm eager to see. And super thankful for my team too. Yeah, seriously, why not tonight? You can procrastinate, but why? You gonna feel more like doing it on a Wednesday, or I don't know where your head's at with that. Maybe you want to wait till Sunday. I don't know. Okay, let me show you. I'm going to blow out my candle, and you are welcome to blow yours out too. But keep that candle. It will be a reminder to you as well. And remember, there's always an invocation on the back, right? As I light this candle, I welcome life in all its forms and phases. With courage, I feel the depths of my emotions and hold myself in kindness, right? So that's your reminder to you too. Okay, before I let you go for the evening, I want to remind you these are your tools for next month, and I want to show you something really cool. I'm going to take this away and have you come back to me. Okay, so next month's tools, we're focusing on patchouli, tobacco, and lion. Patchouli is my favorite essential oil. I've worn it every day since I was 16, 17. When people smell patchouli, they're always like, was Athena here? And I'm not the only person in the world who wears it, but it's kind of everything in my house smells like it. I put the oil in my laundry detergent, so even our laundry smells like it. I just love it. And so your gift with your ritual set for next month, did you see this, is a smoky quartz perfume bottle necklace. So that is smoky quartz. And then it comes with a little dropper. So you fill that with your oil, and then you put the cap back on. And it's a little double terminated smoky quartz perfume bottle necklace. Isn't that cool? That's your gift. So for $59 before your discount, so it's $50, you get the candle, the solid perfume made out of patchouli, you get your tobacco incense, you get your oracle cards, because remember you get 3 new oracle cards every month. So the candle, the necklace, the balm, the incense. So that is the set. And one person who gets theirs tonight is going to win this Udilite with pink tourmaline and green amethyst necklace. Isn't this gorgeous? All done in sterling silver. It's adjustable. The retail value is $699, which is pretty great. This is a stone that's a powerful healer of the central nervous system. It's one that I work with for autoimmune disease. So that'll be a really good gift for whoever wins that one. So you can order before midnight tonight, and it is 7:15. So you have until midnight tonight to get your set. And your code is 19party. Don't forget your code because it takes 19% off your order. The only other thing I wanted to show you before I sign off, did you see? I finally got a new moon intention journal. If Yvonne is watching, I'm so thankful to you for finally getting this made. It is the most beautiful new moon intention journal. It's all lined, and it has the elastic band, which I wanted because I travel with my journals. And so this, I'm starting mine tonight because I just got mine today. They're brand new. These are at sagegoddess.com too. So if you get your kit, you may want to add on a journal to your order too. Aren't they fun? It took us forever. We ordered these around the new year. But because of the shutdown and everything, it took forever to get them done. But aren't they beautiful? Like, they're engraved on the front. Isn't that beautiful? They're really well done. So anyway, enjoy your journal. Make sure you get your moon worksheets. Make sure you get your bingo cards. And that you join me and Dave at 4 p.m. on Saturday for free bingo and prizes. I think you're going to really, really have fun. Yeah, if you bought it earlier today, you're fine. If you get your new moon kit today for next month, you're entered. We're going to put it into the order of one person from today. So you have another 5 hours if you didn't get your set already. And like I said, we had about a quarter of the quantity left when I started tonight. So if you'd like one, you have till midnight, and your code is 19party. Are you ready for a Leo new moon next month? I'm serious. I'm going to kick your butt. In all the most fun ways. I hope you enjoyed the chime bath tonight. That felt really good. It's the first time I've used the chimes. We have similar chimes coming to Sage Goddess in a couple of weeks. These chimes are called Koshi chimes, Koshi, and you can buy these as well. And so I'm just in love with the chimes. These are kind of fun because they're elemental. So I wanted to share with you what those were because some of you had asked. Aren't they beautiful? It felt really good to chime bathe you. So you have been bathed, darling. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful new moon. Thank you to Alexis and Hannah one more time. Tomorrow it is the Sage Goddess anniversary edition of the live gemstone sale with me and Barbara, with me and my husband, whose name is not Barbara, but it's a nickname. So we're starting at 3 p.m. We've got all brand new things. So hope you can join us for the gem sale. Then Wednesday there's class. There's session 3 of Soul Shift on Wednesday and live readings. And then I'm going to take a breath on Thursday and Friday, and then we have bingo on Saturday. So it's a big week, everybody. Don't get tired of me yet. And and if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel here, we would love for you to. You're going to start seeing even more good stuff coming here. And then we're gearing up for our podcast, which is very exciting, sometime in the next couple of months. So you'll be hearing more about our podcast. It'll be on iTunes and all the places podcasts go. We've got a fun lineup of topics, and I'm really excited to be bringing a podcast to you finally. So I will see you, talk to you, be with you soon, everybody, and see you tomorrow for the live gem sale. Thanks for being here tonight. We'll see you soon.